Fate the Winx Saga Season 3 Everything We Know. With Season 2 of the show recently being released, it finished in a way that left it looking as though a Season 3 was definitely on the cards. With all of the group's arcs resolving and it looking like there was room to be built upon, I thought I'd take a look at all that's out there about Season 3 of the show and give my theories and predictions to what I think could happen next. So let's get into it. Here is Fate the Winx Saga Season 3 Everything We Know. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. The story. In terms of the story, the main plot was wrapped up in Season 2 of the show. However, we saw that Sebastion was successful in opening a gateway between the other world and the realm of darkness, even though he was defeated. We saw that the only way for it to be closed was for Bloom to enter and for her to close it from the inside. However, in the final moments of the episode, we saw that she encountered her mother, who'd been there for 1,000 years after banishing herself. We know that her mother once held the dragon flame, just like Bloom currently does, and it caused widespread devastation and destruction. So I imagine we'll see the pair strike up a bond, and I think her mother could potentially become a villain in Season 3 of the show. Bloom has always struggled with understanding where she came from and why she holds such a powerful ability, so I feel we'll see it get answered in this next season. Bloom will most certainly return to the other world at some point, but the visions that she had in Season 2 of the show have appeared to have come true, in the sense that the shadow that was spoken about that was able to bring individuals back from the dead was seen over the top of Beatrix's grave, so I think she'll be brought back to life and could also have a lot to say and trouble to stir if she's possessed with the darkness. Her two sisters that we found out about in the final episode could be the only thing that's able to make her snap out of what the darkness is going to do to her. She has an identity crisis in the sense that it doesn't feel as though she belongs anywhere, so a sense of belonging could be the very thing that brings her back to reality. I think although Aisha was hurt by Grey in Season 2, they'll continue in a relationship in Season 3 as he came back to Althea after being banished. Terra is in a relationship with Kat, so we'll see how she gets on with that. And we also have Flora, who appears to have scars on her following being attacked by the Scrapers. Although they were defeated, nobody has ever survived like she did, so we could see something sinister occur as there was a lot of focus on it at the end. Musa has essentially muted her powers due to her struggling with understanding the pain that everybody goes through, and she wants to now be a specialist. After proving herself in the battle with the Blood Witches, I don't think that will be an issue, and we'll see her switch from being a fairy to a specialist. There's a lot to pick up from in Season 3 of the show in terms of the story, so I'm intrigued to see how they're going to go about it. The release date. In terms of the release date, Netflix haven't confirmed if there's going to be a Season 3 of the show. However, Season 2 of the show was certainly written in a way that made it seem as though the group would be returning for another installment. It usually takes the platform a couple of weeks to make a decision on whether or not a new season is going to be commissioned. And this is so they can gauge the success and reception of the show. With Season 2 jumping straight to number 1 on the Netflix charts, I wouldn't be surprised if they gave the green light soon. If we take a look back at the time between Season 1 and Season 2 being released, it was around 1 year and 9 months, so not the traditional amount of time of 1 year between seasons. However, I don't feel as though they'd make the audience wait as long as that next time, as it does feel rather unconventional. I think we could expect to see a Season 3 of the show in the fall of next year, so around September 2023 if the show does get the go-ahead. The cast. In Season 2 of the show, there were a couple of deaths that occurred on screen, so there'll be some changes to the individuals that will be returning to the show. With the character Andreas being killed, I think it's safe to say that he won't be returning to the show. With Sebastion being defeated, he will also most likely not be returning. And with Rosalind being killed, she will also not be making a comeback. That would mean that we could expect to see Bloom, Terra, Aisha, Stella, Musa, Flora, Sky, Riven, Dane, and Silver. With Sam and his father Ben leaving because of the way that Rosalind was running the school, we could see them make a return in Season 3. We'll also be introduced to Bloom's mother, who's been in the realm of darkness for 1,000 years. And I also think that despite the fact that Beatrix was killed, I think we'll see her be revived from the dead by the shadow that was present in the closing moments of the show, so I think she'll also be returning. Along with the introduction of her two sisters that we found out about in the final episode, we'll also likely see Grey the Blood Witch return as we saw him approach Aisha in her final inclusion. I imagine there will also be a wide array of other cast members that will be introduced to us in Season 3 as well. Unfortunately for now, that's all that's known about Season 3 of the show. I'm sure more information will get released as time goes on. So, there you have it. Fate the Winx Saga Season 3, everything we know. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions, and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. If you want to give me a show or movie that you'd like me to review, then head over to my Twitter, @brainpilot_, and tweet me what show or movie you'd like me to review next. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think is going to happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.